mini and other preparation are soft in nature. Then granules is a globular particle or grain in which drugs are mixed with sugar, flavoring agent and inner adjuvant. These are all the granules. Inside the capsules, there are certain small materials are there. They are known as the granules, and it is used mainly for administering the drugs that causes unpleasant taste. Yes, especially sometimes the aspirin and most of the drugs, especially in the modern allopathic practice, they are having bitter taste. So to cover up that bitter taste, they are made into the granules. And example is methyl cellulose granules. So this is containing the methyl cellulose granules. Inside that, drugs are put. Here you can see so many granules are there. Inside these granules, there are drugs. Here also in this particular capsule, so many granules are there. Whenever you open a capsule, so many granules are there. They are all containing the active principle in a fixed quantity. Then pill. So it's told that there is a pill for every ill, means for every disease there should be a pill. And pill is a spherical or ovoid, usually sugar coated preparation intended to be swallowed without being chewed. Here pills need not be chewed, and now pill is less used because it's often becomes hard on drying and may not easily dissolve in the gastrointestinal tract. Of course, it's a very good saying that there is a pill for every ill, means, so that's why you can remember the pill name. And the pills are this spherical or ovoid shape usually, and they are sugar coated, and varieties of the pills you can find even, but nowadays once again these pills are reintroduced into the market. So its pills consist of a mixture of drugs with sticky binder. It's concerning sticky binder provided with glazed sugar coating to be swallowed without being chewed. So it is directly it is swallowed without being chewed. And the tablet, it's a very common thing. If you give the tablet in Google search, you will get the picture of the computers or laptops. But it's not like that. Tablet is a small disc-shaped preparation usually made by molding or compressing the granulated or powdered drugs. Tablet is a disc-shaped one, and usually it's a molded, means it is pressed inside a mold, and granulated powder forms. Like so many tablets you can see. Tablet varies in shape, size, and may be scored on both surfaces to facilitate the fractionization or providing smaller doses. So whenever a smaller doses need to be administered, just like 1 milligram and other thing, then certain excipients are used to cover up that thing, and later they are made into tablets and administered. So these are all the varieties of the tablets. I think you have seen in the market. Each tablet is having its own shape. Sometimes it's colored or not colored. And here one quoting is there: eat food as medicine, otherwise you will have to eat medicine as food. So there is it's a very good quote that eat food as a medicine, means we have to eat the food in a very restricted manner, or else you have to have eat the medicine as your food in the elder age. Yeah. Then the second classification is the parenteral dosage form, means other than enteric route, means enteric means the oral route. The first one is the oral route, what we have learned. The second one is the parenteral dosage forms. Here once again it is classified into similarly liquid, semisolids and other thing. The liquids, the first important thing is the injection. Nowadays it's one of the technology. Injection is a sterile solution or suspension of the drugs for parenteral administration. Usually it is like that. Then some drugs are unstable in liquid form, therefore they are supplied as powder for reconstitution with a sterile solvent immediately before use for injection. So injections have some penicillin and other thing you might have seen. They are in the form of the powder, and distilled water is given. Then you have to mix the distilled water in the powder. Then reconstituted liquid should be injected. The example of this injection is, so many examples are there, and one of the example is gentamicin injection. Please see the spelling of this thing. It is not gentamicin, it is gentamicin. And penicillin G sodium. Here you can see that gentamicin is a liquid, and the penicillin G sodium is a powdered one, and it is containing the water for injection, and you have to mix both the water for injection and the penicillin G, reconstitute, give the injection. And serum is preparation of blood containing antibodies for specific antigens, or else we can also call this as the vaccines. Serum is a preparation of the blood serum containing antibodies for specific antigens. It is indicated promptly after the suspected exposure to a toxicant. And so many serums are there: anti-tetanus serum, anti-venous serum, anti-venomous serum, etc. So here the example is anti-tetanic serum. So it is containing the serum. It is lyophilized, means the water content is removed by keeping it in case of the coolest temperature. Then it is reconstituted using the water. Here diphtheria vaccines, toxoid vaccines, and anti-tetanic serum, tetanus toxoid, all these things are the serum preparations. Then the solids is an implant. Implant is a solid material inserted or grafted surgically into the intact body tissues. Here you can see in the body tissues, the implant is placed inside below the skin, or sometimes subcutaneous also. It may include medicated bodies, tissue grafts, and artificial pacemakers. Artificial pacemaker is the one which is used whenever there is a cardiac problems are there. And medicated implant is generally prepared as rod, cylinder, spherical, or pellet, or compressed tablet, and releases the drug at a constant rate of predetermined period of the time. So the implant is having the drug, and it releases a constant constant quantity of the drug into the bloodstream. The implants of the naltrexone or naltrexone for opioid dependent addicts, this type of the implants are put and beside the skin. And also this diethylstilbestrol or anabolic steroids are also, they are used as a growth promotants, and they are implanted in the body of the animal, especially the DES, to induce the estrus into the animal. Then it is implanted in the body of the animal. And pellet is a very small ovoid spherical sterile solid mass or drugs, usually of steroid hormones, meant for implantation in subcutaneous tissue by insertion. So this type of the pellets is a very small ovoid thing, and you can see here this is a pellet. Then it serves as the repository or depot dosage form, providing the sustained release of the drugs over extended period of the time. Here testosterone pellet, it's used in case of the cattle, especially in the case of male implant. It is with surgically, it is inserted below the skin, and it will act accordingly.
Repository andre ಏನು sir?
Sir, ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
Repository.
Yes, repository, suppository next ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So the third one is the inhaled dosage forms. The example is the gases. Once again, in gases, it's classified into so many things, like just like aerosol. So aerosol is a suspension of fine, solid or liquid drug particles packed in a container. So I think you might have seen. Please try to collect as much as this possible, because one of my suggestion to students is, always try to collect this type of the containers, because whenever you see the drug, here it is written as the Bricanil and everything, you will see, yes, this is the dosage form, you can see, and also the content. What is Bricanil? It is a bronchodilator. So whenever it is also used in case of the asthma patients. So you will remember all these things. So try to collect as much as the dosage forms. This is an assignment to you. During next, I think Thursday, I will review this, because you can show the photograph of the things what you have collected. Okay. Please try to collect, because many of your friends and other persons, they may be taking so many form of these drug dosage forms. Collect them properly and have it in your shelf or almirah. That's always better tip for learning pharmacology, and you will get the interest very slowly, because whenever you read the trade name, here also once again trade name is there, generic name is there. So, and the name of the pharmaceutical, expiry date, all these things are written. So aerosol is intended for topical application to the skin as well as local application into the nose. Number one is the nose, nasal aerosol. Here you can see this is the nasal aerosol. Nasal aerosol. This is the nasal aerosol. Just like your Vicks vapor is there, it is nasal aerosol, and mouth lingual aerosols, lungs inhalation aerosols. So this terpitalin aerosol, it's all the three forms are available. This is just like a small pump is there. Then if it is pressed, a small quantity of the gas is, especially the drug containing aerosol, is sprayed inside the oral cavity, and it's absorbed into the trachea. Here also you can see, whenever Vicks vapor is one of the very good example to remember. I think many of you have taken that particular thing, intranasal. Here nasal aerosol, this is the just like Vicks inhaler, and it's sometimes, see, one nose need to be closed and it is need to be pressed many times. Nasal decongestants are given like this, xylometazoline and many other containers are there. So they are the nasal aerosols. Try to collect this as much as possible. My request is try to collect. This is an assignment also. Try to collect maximum number of the dosage forms. The lingual aerosol is also nitrolingual aerosol. So inside the mouth it is put, and it's also having small granules as a spray, and you see lingual aerosol. Then inhalation aerosol, once again epatromium bromide aerosol is used as the nasal decongestant and also the bronchodilator. So you have to press this is the medicine container, and this is the apparatus which is used to push that particular drug inside the oral cavity. So then nebulizer or nebulizers, then drug delivery used to administer medication in the form of the mist inhaled into the lungs, especially this type of treatment of asthma, cystic fibrosis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, especially in case of respiratory disorders. This type of the nebulizers, they are used. So usually there will be a mask containing particular, and it is connected to the drug source. So this is known as the nebulizers. Inhalant is volatile. This is the inhalant example. Volatile drugs which are carried by air current into the nasal passage to relieve congestion and inflammation of the respiratory tract. So this is the inhalant. This type of the mask is prepared in case of the animals, whereas the same type of the mask is also given to the used in case of humans. Then once again the gases. Gas is elastic aeriform fluid in which, so already we know the aerosol, what is an aerosol, then inhalation, nebulizers, then the gas. Gas is any elastic aeriform fluid in which the molecules are separated from one another and able to move freely. And gas is intended to be used directly by inhalation methods. And so many examples in the hospitals, the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrous oxide can be used. Oxygen nowadays, it's a corona era, and everybody knows how high the oxygen is infused and how it is infused. So separate oxygen cylinders are available in the market, and you can purchase those things. A small containers are also available, and the administering equipment is also there. Yeah, the oxygen, multiple patients can also be used and can also be administered with the oxygen using such machines in which the carbon dioxide and oxygen will be usually 100% oxygen is never administered because it causes the sometimes it is causes hemoglobinemia or oxyhemoglobin. So it is usually 5% carbon dioxide is mixed with the oxygen for better supplementation. Whenever there is anesthesia is maintained, always the carbon dioxide is also given in small quantities, less than 5%. In carbon dioxide administration along with the hospital, in always the carbon dioxide, this is a carbon dioxide cylinder is there, and very specifically, this is mixed with the oxygen in the hospital. And here it's very interesting that what we can see is the nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is also known as the laughing gas. So here in many other countries, nitrous oxide can be used as an alternative to epidural anesthesia affecting the labor progression. So whenever there is a labor pain is there in the ladies, then instead of putting them into the epidural anesthesia, it's a invasive procedure. Then instead of that thing, the nitrous oxide is made to be inhaled by those ladies, and there will be ease of perturbation. So this is the gases. And inhalant or inhalation is a preparation consisting of or containing volatile drugs, means volatile drugs which are carried by an air current into the nasal passage to relieve congestion and inflammation of the respiratory system. To repeat again, inhalant or inhalation is a preparation consisting of the volatile drugs. Volatile drugs means evaporative drugs which are carried by an air current into the nasal passage to relieve congestion and inflammation of the respiratory tract. Thus, so inhalant is a very specific preparation dosage form that's used to relieve the respiratory problem. Some substances are volatile at room temperature and may be inhaled directly, whereas the other may be put in hot water and vapors that are inhaled. So just like your Vicks vapor rub, directly you can inhale it, and also sometimes it is put in the hot water, then a what you call as a rug or the blanket is taken, then it's covered, the face is covered with that thing, and it is inhaled to get relief the obstruction in the nasal tract or the respiratory tract. And the another example for this inhalant is menthol inhalation. This is the menthol, it's the content of the Vicks vapor rub or Vicks inhalers. So this is clear stuffy, especially whenever there is a nose blockade, and to make breathing free, this is put inside the bowel. This is the menthol in the inhalation. The menthol and other thing, they are put in a bowl and boiled, and that is inhaled. So here it's especially for the respiratory tract problems. And last but one, the topical dosage forms are now the liquids. Here the DOSH, D-O-U-C-H-E. DOSH is a sterile solution of the drugs used for rinsing the body cavities, mainly to wash out and treat infection of vagina, especially in the female ones. It is administered with a thin soft rubber or plastic tube known as catheter. Here it is be connected by a catheter. Then the term irrigant is also used for sterile solution intended to bath or flush open wounds especially. So this is the one DOSH. Here this is containing the medicine, and this is the catheter and this need to be inserted where it is going to be action. And also this is the another dosage form. I think you can see here. So these are all the important dosage forms are concerned, and yeah. And the next is the drops, nasal drops. I think many of you see these eye drops, nasal drops, oral drops, and so many drops are there, including the drops is a liquid preparation in which drug solution or suspension is instilled into the body cavity, such as ear drops, nasal drops, mouth and eye drops. So you know the preparations like this mouth and especially drops must be sterile and prepared under the same conditions and by the same methods as parenteral preparation. Example is the sulfacetamide eye drops and gentamicin eye drops and ear drops also. Here you can see this is the sodium carboxyl cellulose, or it's the artificial lacrimation or artificial this thing, and gentamicin and dexamethasone ophthalmic solution. This is a eye drop, and sometimes the ear drops, eye or ear, both can be, this can be used. This is a eye drop or ear drop. Here it is having a very specific nozzle, and you can press it this particular bottle so that only few drops can be applied on the body surface, or especially in the nose or the ear or oral cavity. And next is the enema, is a liquid preparation meant for administration into the rectum for the purpose of providing the drug or clearing the bowel. And this is performed either with the enema or an enema pump in the horses and cattle with a human enema syringe in small animal. So enema is a type of the oral drug dosage form. It is administered into the rectum. Especially it is performed either with an enema or without any enema camp. Enema pump is there, and soap water enema is a very commonly used thing, especially in case of the cows and any animals which are having lot of constipation. Such things are used. Here you can see that this soap water is used in this container, and the enema catheter is inserted into the rectum of the animal, and repeatedly the fluid is administered so that the entire constipated content will come out. And this is the thing that's used in case of, this is known as the enema bag, and this is the catheter, especially used in case of the human beings. And same can also be used in case of veterinary practice also. This is enema bag and enema camp. And dentifrices used with the toothbrush for the purpose of cleaning the accessible surface of the teeth. So dentifrices. Then insufflations are the one introduction to the ear, nose or throat. Here administered by means of insufflator. Example, adrenaline insufflation and menthol insufflation. These do have a very specific type of the nozzles so that they can be inserted in the ear, and the insufflations the drug can be delivered easily. And turpentine liniment is also there, liniment, turpentine. Liniment is so this is the example of the liniment. Liniment is a liquid or semi-solid preparation. There 5 minutes are there. Oil or alcohol or soap intended for external application. And it's a rubipatient. Rubipatient is a substance for topical application that produces redness of the skin. Example, by causing the dilatation of the capillaries and an increase in the blood circulation. So camphor liniment and the turpentine liniment, what you have seen is the turpentine liniment, very commonly used in veterinary practice. So these are also the rubipatients, means increases the blood circulations over a skin or any other thing. It's containing so many preparations. Lotion is a liquid preparation of the drugs. It is generally used for the local smoothing. Example, the white lotion and calamine lotion. The paint is a liquid preparation of the drugs in viscid solvents such as the glycerin or liquid paraffin for the application on the skin or mucous membrane, usually with soft brush. This paint is different totally from that of the oil paint, and throat paint is more viscous due to the high content of the glycerin. So it is known as the Mandel's throat paint. Here you can see this type of the Vaseline and the other thing, they are used as a paint, means drug paint. And calamine and calamine lotions, they are applied over the body whenever there is itching or any allergy, etc. So such lotions can be used. And this is the Mandel's paint of the iodine. Especially this is painted whenever you do have a sore throat. So throat paint, so it's containing the iodine. So taking a small brush, it can be applied on the tonsils, especially on the tonsils. And shampoo is a liquid soap or detergent to clean the hair and scalp, and is often used as a vehicle or dermatological agents. Here so many shampoos are there: hydrocortisone shampoo and the ketoconazole shampoos. And solids and cream is a soft semi-solid emulsion of the drugs which usually contain more than 20% of the water. Cream example is the calamine lotion and calamine cream. Here the cream is containing more water content when compared to the lotion. Here you can see this lactocalamine, this compound, then the nystatin cream. Dusting powder, it is in the form of the powder. It's calling the medicated dusting powder. Example is the talcum powder and iodoform powder. And surgical dusting powder are the cornstarch and antimicrobial dusting powder. Just like this Johnson's baby powder is a talcum powder, and these are all the surgical powders, iodoform, etc. See clotrimazole, and this is antifungal absorbent dusting powder. Electuary is semi-solid preparation. What is the next class? Hello? Are you there?
Paracetamol.
Okay. Another few, 2 or 3 slides are there. Shall I go ahead? Only 3 are there about this particular class is concerned.
Yeah, sir. Go, sir.
Okay, okay. So here you can see that it provides demulcent action over the inflamed mucous membranes, especially the electuary is a semi-solid preparations of the drug mixed with sugar, then honey or sugar, any or sweetening substances, application by smearing on the tongue, lips and palates. So it provides a demulcent action over the inflamed mucous membranes and ensures slow release of the drugs for longer period. So it is mainly used as a large animals for the treatment of respiratory diseases. Example, saline electuary. Example, another example is the herbal electuary for fever. Here you can see that the electuary is the one which is containing the sweetening substances like the honey, etc., with the active principles of the drug and applied over the tongue of the animal. Here also you can see that a herbal content is mixed with honey or jaggery, and to mask the bitter taste of that particular thing, it's made as an electuary over thing. And insufflation is a medicated dusting powder that is blown by insufflator into the body cavities such as nose, throat, vagina, ears, etc., to which it would be difficult to apply the powder directly. It's very difficult sometimes. Then the insufflation is a process in which you are using certain equipments to put the drug inside the nose, throat, vagina, etc. And the jelly is a transparent or translucent non-greasy semi-solid preparation meant for external application into the skin or mucous membranes. And the example of this thing, tragacanth jelly and sodium alginate jellies. And these are either natural gums like tragacanth, pectin and sodium alginates. These are all made as jellies. I think this is the insufflation. Here a drug is inserted using the insufflating equipment, and whereas this is the jelly. This is a tragacanth jelly which is used buying some honey and other thing material. It is made as a jelly and it's later administered into the Sodium. This is the sodium alginate jelly. I think many of you consume this in the market, just like some gels are available. And sweetness, sweet, having sweet odor, and